In the ancient city of Cyprus, more than 2,000 years ago, there lived a man named Zeno, a wealthy merchant, a man who had everything: gold, reputation, power. Until one day, the sea took it all. His ship sank, his cargo vanished beneath the waves. In an instant, everything he built was gone. Now pause for a second. Imagine that's you. Imagine watching your entire life disappear in front of your eyes. Your dreams, your identity, your purpose, all gone in the blink of an eye. Most of us would break. Most of us would cry, curse, rage against the world. But Zeno didn't. He stood in the wreckage of his fortune, and he said something that would echo through time. I made a prosperous voyage when I suffered shipwreck. That loss didn't destroy him. It forged him. Because in that moment he learned the greatest truth of all. You cannot control what happens, but you can always control how you respond. That is where Stoicism begins. The art of emotional mastery, the science of becoming undefeatable. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about transforming them. It's not about being cold. It's about being calm. It's not about pretending life doesn't hurt. It's about standing tall while it does. The Stoics knew something most people still don't. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. You don't control the storm. You control the sail. And if you can hold the sail steady, even when the waves rise against you, you become something the world cannot break. Think about your own life. The rejections, the losses, the moments you thought would end you. But you're still here. You survived things that once felt impossible. You've been tested, and every single test left behind a lesson. That's Stoicism in action. Not philosophy written in books, but wisdom carved into the soul through experience. When you react, you lose control. When you respond, you take it back. That's the difference between chaos and composure, between weakness and power. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, ruler of millions, faced betrayal, war, and death daily. Yet he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Every time life throws a punch, you have two choices: react and spiral, or pause and respond. That pause, that single moment between stimulus and response, is where all your power lives. Today's world makes that pause almost impossible. You're surrounded by noise, notifications, opinions, outrage. Everyone wants your reaction. Everyone feeds on your emotions. But if you can master that moment, that heartbeat of stillness, you become free. When others lose their temper, you stay centered. When others panic, you stay grounded. When others break, you bend but never fall. Because the world doesn't decide who you are. You do. Zeno's teachings became Stoicism, a philosophy not for monks or scholars, but for people like you and me living in the chaos of life. From slaves like Epictetus to emperors like Marcus Aurelius, every Stoic faced suffering. And every Stoic learned to see suffering as training. The Stoic doesn't run from pain. He leans into it. He says, this too is part of the plan. He doesn't complain about the obstacle. He uses it. He sees every setback as a step forward because he knows the obstacle is the way. In a world addicted to reaction, calm is your superpower. Imagine never sending that angry text, never saying the thing you'll regret. Imagine being so centered that nothing external could steal your peace. That's not fantasy. That's discipline. That's Stoicism. And it starts with awareness. You cannot master your reactions if you don't notice them. You must learn to observe your thoughts like passing clouds, to see anger, fear, jealousy, frustration, without being pulled by them. Mindfulness isn't New Age fluff. It's ancient Stoic training. Marcus Aurelius meditated on his thoughts every night. Seneca journaled about his mistakes every day. They didn't do it for peace. They did it for power. Because awareness is power. Every emotion you name loses control over you. Every impulse you pause on sharpens your mind. Every breath you take before reacting builds your inner fortress. You see, life will test you again and again. You lose things. People will disappoint you. Dreams will collapse. That's life. But here's what Stoicism teaches. Every event, good or bad, is neutral. You're the one who gives it meaning. Rain ruins a picnic for one man and waters the crops for another. It's not the event that hurts you. It's your interpretation of it. You can't control the weather. You can't control other people. But you can always control your response. That's the dichotomy of control, the single rule that can end 90% of your stress. Control what you can, accept what you can't, and let the rest go. Now, this doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop suffering over things you can't change. You keep doing your best, but you don't chain your happiness to the outcome. Because happiness built on results will always be fragile. But happiness built on character is unbreakable. That's why the Stoics practiced what they called voluntary discomfort. Sleeping on the floor, taking cold showers, eating plain food. Not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they wanted to remember they could survive without luxury. Gratitude comes when comfort is stripped away, and freedom comes when desire loses its grip. When you can be at peace with less, the world can't take anything from you. We live in a world of comparison, a world that screams, "You're not enough," not rich enough, not successful enough, not beautiful enough. But Stoicism whispers the opposite. You already have everything you need. Seneca said it best. He is a great man who uses earthenware dishes as if they were silver, and silver as if it were earthenware. In other words, Stop worshiping what can be lost. Start building what cannot be broken. Your possessions, your status, your followers, none of it defines you. Your response does. Imagine this. You work hard for months. You expect a promotion. You give it your all. But your boss says no. You feel anger, disappointment, self-doubt. You start thinking you're not good enough. But a Stoic looks at that same moment and says, "Did I do my best? Yes. Then that's all I control." He keeps going calmly. He trusts that every rejection is redirection. Because to the